Hi everyone. Today we're going to look at one PSLE Science exam question from 2024 paper 2 exam. Now it has been called as one of the most difficult exam of the year. Let us go through it and work out a solution together, and I assure you, you will find that it is very easy, and you will learn the concept and you will answer it with precision and ease. Let us continue together. Now this is the question. Let's read the question first, right? Now, Mariam set up the circuit in the toy boat as shown. The metal contacts A and B touch the magnet but are not fixed to it. The magnet is resting on a wooden support. When Mariam closed the switch, the plastic captain moved up and down continuously. Explain why the captain moved up and down. Part A of the question. Part B. Mariam played with the toy for a few hours. The captain moved slower than before. Well, this is natural because energy is dissipated, right? Now, the question asks to state another change to the movement of the captain. Explain your answer. Now, a lot of fear comes in when we look at the question with so many words, and we get worried that it's going to be a difficult question. Now, the tips number 1 is stay calm, don't worry, read the question carefully because the answer and the clues are actually in the question. Now I'm going to walk through the question again with you, and you will realize that all the answer or the clues can be found from the question. Now let's go. Now the question says, the Mariam set up the circuit in a toy boat as shown. The metal contacts A and B, right? Now when they say metal contact, it tells us this is a keyword, and it tells us that it's a property of a material, and being metal, it is a conductive material. Well, metal is a conductive material for heat and electricity, right? And also sound. So in this case, we have a magnet. It is definitely, and also electrical circuit, it is definitely a conductive material for the current in the electrical circuit. So this is the first clue. Now, it touches the magnet, but are not fixed to it. What does it mean? This means the metal contact A and B, it touches magnet, but it's not fixed. Therefore, it can be separated from the contact A and B. And what happens when it is separated? There will not be any connection at all if it's separated, because these two contact is not attached to the magnet, and therefore, it is able to be separated when the magnet is moving up or moving down. So this is the important clue. Next, the magnet is resting on a wooden support. Well, this is the wooden support, right? So what does it mean? This wooden support definitely acts as a separator between the magnet and the iron ore, the fixed iron cylinder, right? And therefore, there is no physical contact with the iron cylinder below at all time. There is no conductivity of electricity or current or magnetism. So it's separated fully, which means it is able to move up and down, not because of conductivity, it's because of some other force. Of course, you know it's magnetic force, right? And it has to be a repulsion force. Okay, so see, as you can see, the clues are all in the answer now. Now, when the clues are all in the question now, right? Now, when Mariam closed the switch, what does it mean? It means current flows, and the iron cylinder become electromagnetized, and it become an electromagnet. And the captain move up and down, not once, not move up once and come down and stop there. It move up and down continuously. It means non-stop, and it's a repeat motion. It suggests to you there is some contact and break of contact, some current flow, and some current stop flowing scenario. Therefore, the iron cylinder either become electromagnetized, and then it lost its magnetism, and then it become electromagnetized again, and then it loses magnetism, causing the captain to move up and down, right? Continuously. So I kind of give you the answer already. So you can realize that, well, when we look at the question at the first glance, it is so scary, so many words, so many situations, so many scenarios. It involves magnets, it involves current, it involves electricity, it involves physical force, it involves some toys. So it is so scary, so challenging, so difficult. No, it is not, right? So I break down for you in this manner. I think you can see that it's quite easy, and we're going to work up the solution together later, and you realize that you can answer it with ease, and you will then learn that this question is actually very simple, and it's very easy, and you will do well for PSLE Science if you go through this methodology, and if you join our class as well, definitely, right? So let's move on. Now let's move on to part B first of the question. Mariam played with the toy for a few hours. Yeah, it's fun to play with the toys, right? To observe the captain move up and down, and then But Mariam also observed something after he played with the toy for a while. Well, Mariam is very observant, I'm sure. Now the captain moves slower than before. Oh, it moves slower than before. Alright? Why? Because there is a reduction of chemical energy in the battery, right? So there is a dissipation of energy into the current, from the chemical energy into electrical energy, and therefore the chemical energy in the battery reduce, and therefore after that it will move slower. Now the question B asks, state another change to the movement of the captain. Well, besides moving slower, what else? This is what he's trying to say, right? So he wants us to state another change and not try to explain why he moves slower, right? Now, of course, he asks you to explain your answer to the new change, all right, to another change to the movement of the captain. So now we understand the question fully, and we got all the clue that we needed, and we can answer our question now, right? However, for explanation purpose, I'm going to run through you how does this toy works and how does it behave. And you realize that many PSLE questions or many questions about electromagnetism, about electricity, is wrapped around this concept. All right. So for the benefit of the student who never attend SST classes for science, and for the benefit of the learning for all the viewers, I'm going to explain how this toy works, and then after that we will work out the solution together, the answer together, and you will guide me on the answer, right? Now let's start by looking at what happens when the toy is not working, at rest, when the switch is not turned on, it's not closed, right? So when it's not working, it's not being played, at rest, just before closing the switch, the fixed iron cylinder is not magnetized. It's not electromagnetized because there is no electrical current around it, and therefore the plastic captain attached to the magnet rests on the wooden support, and it is not moving, it is stationary, right? This is straightforward. Now we are going to turn on the switch, close the circuit, and let's see what happened. Now Mariam closed the switch. The electrical current will flow through the wire wound around the fixed iron cylinder, right? You'll notice the current flow around the circuit, and the fixed iron cylinder becomes an electromagnet. And when it becomes electromagnet, it generates a magnetic pole. If you look at, for something extra, for children who study secondary science, you realize that based on the direction of the flow of the current, it will generate a north pole nearer to the wooden support side. Now, a north pole is being generated. Then what does it mean? We all know that like poles repel. Therefore, the magnet and the fixed iron cylinder, which become an electromagnet, will repel each other. And the captain attached to the magnet will then spring up, right? And when it spring up, the captain attached to the electromagnet will move up, right? On moving up, you realize that the metal contact B is no longer in contact with the magnet, and this breaks the circuit and therefore the connection from the battery, and no current flows through the wire wind around the fixed iron cylinder now. So our fixed iron cylinder loses its magnetism, right? And it's no longer electromagnetic. Sadly, it becomes just an ordinary fixed iron cylinder. It loses the north pole, and what happened after that? There is no more repulsion force. Therefore, the captain will start to drop, right? And when it's dropped, it again make contact with the metal contact B again. Now at this point, it closed the circuit, right? And electrical current flows again around the wire, and the fixed iron cylinder becomes an electromagnet again. And yes, you know what happens. There's a north pole generated, and you know what happened after that? Like poles repel, the magnet repels each other against the fixed iron cylinder, and again our captain spring up happily, excitedly. Now he can see the view above the boat, right? Now as it rises, okay guys, I think you guys can tell me what happened next, right? You know the drill, you are so familiar now how these toys operate. Now the magnet will break contact again, right? Yes. And once it break contact, it loses the magnetism because there's no more current flowing through the wire, and the electromagnet loses the magnetism, no more north pole, no more repulsion force, and the captain will spring down. Okay, now when the captain comes down, it touches the contact B, it closes the circuit, current flow, iron cylinder become electromagnet again, it repel, and captain move up again. So therefore it move up and down, the captain is moving up and down continuously, right? Okay, now that we understand how this thing works, now are we ready to answer the question and score full marks? I'm sure you are. And I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to let you guide me to the answer, because all of you have understand this question so well and understand the concept so well that you're going to answer it with ease and you're going to score full marks, right? Okay, let's start. First, yes, you're right. I guess you guys will answer it this way, right? On closing the circuit, current flows through the wire around the fixed iron cylinder. And what happened? The fixed iron cylinder becomes an electromagnet, generating a north pole near the wooden support, right? And north pole versus north pole of the magnet, it will repel. Yes, you are right. This is how you're going to answer. As light pole repel, so the magnet with the plastic captain attached repels. When it repel, what does it mean? It means it lift off or spring off, or move up, as you like to say it or call it. So let's say it's lifted off the wooden support and it move up, right? So the captain move up, and then as the magnet rise, okay, which means the captain rise up, right? The magnet break contact with the metal contact B, and this break the connection from the battery. No current flow through the wire around the fixed iron cylinder, losing magnetism. So the captain drop at this time. And when upon dropping, the magnet makes contact with the metal contact B again, closing the circuit for current flow through the wire again, and it becomes an electromagnet again. And the captain move up again. And this is the complete answer, right? Now, we can end it by giving a summary to the answer. We can end in this statement, which I add on for you below. The process will repeat itself so long as there is chemical energy within the battery, right? This will keep on repeating until there is no more chemical energy within the battery. Therefore, we conclude for the marker, so that we demonstrate that we understand this concept so well. So we're going to end with a conclusion statement. Therefore, the captain move up and down continuously, and we're going to stress continuously, moving up and down. Now with that, guys, we'll score full mark. And thank you. You guys have helped to answer question A successfully, and we can only come this far because of your patience and your understanding of the questions. and your understanding of the concept, and your perfect answer for the question, right? Part. Now I'm going to move on to part B faster, and you guys can tell me the answer together, right? Let's go. Now, Myron played with the toy for a few hours. Happily, I'm sure. The captain moved slower than before. Yes, after you play for a while, the battery will lose its chemical energy. Well, the word should be transform the chemical energy from the battery to the electrical energy, and therefore there is less energy left. Less chemical energy left in the battery, therefore it moves slower, right? That is how you explain it. Now, but the question is not asking you why it moves slower, it's asking you to state another change to the movement of the captain. So we're going to state the change, and then we're going to explain the answer. Alright? So another change is the height of the captain will be lower after a few hours. Right? Naturally, because the energy is lesser in the battery. Now why? This is because after a few hours, the chemical energy in the battery will reduce. Now, for more advanced science in secondary school, they will say reducing the voltage, because as the voltage drop, the potential energy, potential difference drop. Well, for primary science, we just explain chemical energy in the battery will reduce as it discharges. This will reduce the strength of the electromagnet. It's nature, right? When you have less chemical energy, you have less current, you have less strength for the electromagnet. The repelling force from the electromagnet will also be reduced, right? It's also natural. Whatever reduce will cause more reduction and more reduction everywhere, right? Resulting in lower height for the plastic captain as it moves slower. Now, as you can see, we explain this very sequentially and logically, and we complete the answer with the keywords, which I highlight in bold for you, and we will get full marks, right? So thank you very much for staying with me till the end to watch the whole video and to understand the concept fully, and also to get the answer complete till the end. Thank you for the patience, and thank you for working out an answer together with me, and please stay on to watch more video, subscribe to our channel, like us, give us comments, and also join our class, our math and science SST class. We also have classes in Chinese, physics, chemistry, and additional math. Join us, and you will learn that you will improve a lot after taking the tuition and guided by us. Right? I wish you success for your study. See you soon. Bye bye.